Hi everyone, my name is Roger. I guess you could call me an artist of multiple medias. And yeah, I'll just talk about why I do art and where it all started for me, which is kind of an interesting story, I guess. When I was about 5, I had these strange dream experiences, and I don't know, I've talked to a few people and they remember strange experiences as well. It might be just the brain developing at that age, but for me it was like being in a fractal dimension, very terrifying, and then I'd wake up out of it and it would seem less real actually, so it's kind of hard to talk about at that age to parents and stuff like that. So that, yeah, got me really interested from a young age in altered states. And all kids, they spin around on the spot, so that was a natural thing for me to do quite a lot of. And yeah, it sort of all led me towards lucid dreaming, which was really, yeah, I guess confronting at the start, where I'd be in a dream and I'd be thinking, wow, is this real or not? It'd be so real I couldn't discern, even with testing pain, pinching myself would hurt. So yeah, it got me to research it. So I started looking up books on that, and then it was interesting, it led me on to psychedelic experiences, because they mentioned that in the books. They mentioned that altered states could be achieved by lucid dreaming, out-of-body experience type of things, which, I don't know, I have no really solid beliefs on any of this really, it's just the direct experience as they happen. So yeah, the lucid dreaming was really interesting because you could actually learn how to get better at it with techniques. And this is what I want to do with the Oculus Rift. And I've started an experiment. Has anyone tried the Oculus Rift here? Or who hasn't tried it?
What is it?
It's a headset.
Is that with the...
Virtual reality, yeah.
Is it with the pine trees?
Oh, no.
No, okay.
But there are people making pine tree type experiences in this. This is like, how to best explain it would be, yeah, you put it on and it's got true 3D, just like how the eyes interpret the world. And they've managed to do that at a low cost. It only costs $300, so it's, yeah, it's pretty new technology in that way. So yeah, my idea with that is to train people how to have lucid dreams, and the way I'm going to do it, or I've started to do it is, and I can show you later individually if you want, you walk into a room, or you're in a room, and things start to vibrate and shake. And I have to still work out the coding because I'm just a new developer at all this. So, but yeah, the idea to get strong lucid dreams and to remain stable in them is to glance at objects. So like you look at one object and then look at another and then another, like every couple of seconds, and that sort of builds up your short-term memory of that environment, and the dreams become quite solid, and then you are it's like you're in there kind of thing. So it's very much like virtual reality in that way, which is very interesting to see that similarity, accessible via technology. And yeah, another aspect of my talk is reproducing the psychedelic experience and sharing that, like reproducing the unseeable pretty much. Because it's all anecdotal, talking about what we experience. And there's a lot of artwork, even cave paintings may have been psychedelic experiences that cavemen had. Because there's some bizarre sort of imagery of animal-human hybrid type things, which is kind of a common theme on psychedelic experiences like that. And so, what next? Yeah, so it's interesting looking back at films and seeing the amount of actual time and effort that people try to that put in to try to replicate the psychedelic experience. And I've got a couple here that I'd like to show you. And yeah, I'm thinking that virtual reality will be a new tool for showing this sort of thing. So, but it's got its own problems and issues, because I mean, seeing something on a screen or like this is one thing, but actually being immersed in it with it all around you with full head tracking in 3D can be quite nauseating, especially if you see these things here. If you can imagine them all around you, it can be quite confronting for anyone really. So. So this is a film called Into the Void, which came out in 2009. And it was all done from a first-person perspective, which is very much the only thing you can really do in VR. This is a drug called dimethyltryptamine, which occurs naturally in the brain. And when you actually smoke it, it happens really quickly because the brain knows that it's a similar chemical molecule. So it literally happens like that. As you're smoking it, it affects you. For the sake of the talk, I actually shortened it down because it goes for like 5 minutes. It's done all in real time, so an actual trip can last about 5 minutes. It's such a short-acting trip because the brain knows it as a familiar chemical. So it recognises that it's too high and it flushes it out of the system pretty quickly. That's my understanding of it. So this sort of journey, that's what I'm trying to recreate in the Oculus Rift. The great thing about it is lethal to show people, so you can show kids psychedelic experiences. It's an amazing movie. Like, he dies in the first 15 minutes, he gets shot, and the rest of the movie you see it from his disembodied eyes floating through the scene. This one's called Renegade, also known as Blueberry. The director had about 100 ayahuasca sessions in South America, but he found an avenue where he could actually portray the ayahuasca experience in this country western film. So he sort of snuck it in there. It was very interesting. And what I'm really interested in reproducing the psychedelic experience is seeing familiar, or just having confirmation from others of familiar shapes and forms that they see, like archetypal imagery. And I think it's the kind of becoming the first time in history where we can accurately portray such a state, and I don't know, it'd be interesting for brain research and just how we perceive reality, perhaps. I don't come from this from a really scientific point of view, more just an artistic point of view. So there's a lot I probably don't know about how the brain works. So. But yeah, motifs like in the Amazon, when you have these experiences, a lot of snakes, jaguars, I guess spiders, a lot of creatures. And it's it can be very confronting, and people feel like they're dying as they're experiencing it. It's not a comfortable experience. Nobody takes these sort of drugs to escape reality, that's for sure. So, recreating this in virtual reality would be probably too nauseating, too fast. So there has to be a nice balance between, I guess, confronting imagery, but also imagery that the brain can accept as it's happening in virtual reality.
But wouldn't you want to recreate it in a realistic way? Like if you're showing somebody what an acid trip's like, and if it's not a good acid trip, and it's a bad one, and you're toning it down, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, you can try it in a second, because I've done it, and when I made it, I didn't test it, so it's kind of bad, but you're welcome to try it.
But what she's saying is the whole point of the psychedelic experience is that it's generated from your internal state and where you are, and so isn't there a danger that if you're presenting people with a pre-constructed psychedelic experience that it's going to not have meaning?
A lot of, and this is another film that has a tricky sequence. Well, that's the thing, like, there's a similar motifs that come up, so, and that's what I want to teach, is like, other people can recreate their own experiences, go, oh, this is what I saw, and have a collaboration approach.
Yeah, I understand from the aesthetic point of view, in terms of like, actually recreating the experience, it can be difficult without knowing what's going on.
If you're good at, like, dream recall, you can, it's just really going, you can sort of remember quite vividly the visual.
Not in real time, though. It's generated real time.
No, not yet.
So, are your visual effects from your own dreams, or are you computer generating and you're tuning?
All of my artwork and psychedelic is sort of based artwork. It's from meditation, LSD or DMT. You can't really meditate on DMT.
So you're controlling the effects, or
That's where I don't know.
I'm not giving you a hard time.
No, this is where I don't know the subconscious and how it, maybe it's just like a collection of images throughout your whole life that gets stored in your subconscious and it comes up and arrayed in an amazing sort of mosaic of imagery. So it's hard to know actually where the images come from. So, my aim is to just capture what I can and then reproduce it. For others to correlate with it. Oh yeah, I see that. It's interesting to see that. People going, oh wow, we've seen that sort of thing.
So, if your interest is in tattoos, so you're using the computer to generate the art, or is it?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
everything. It's like, is it like hand painted and then, there's many different ways that I reproduce it, But, and The Simpsons, so it's interesting to see like across just in the media, that's like when he had the chili, but it's okay, and this is the other thing I do is I've been taking the Oculus to these events, like psytrance parties where people are intoxicated on something. And I put them in different environments. Like this guy, he told me he was on LSD, and I put him on a roller coaster ride. First time I did reality.
Look over your shoulder! Look behind yourself!
And a lot of people don't realise it's full 360 head
With the
tracking.
thing on!
Is that Rainbow Serpent? It's joyous to do. So much fun to. And I told no one. I just set it up and people discovered it. They had no idea that they were going to experience what they did.
You know that?
Girls can really skill. So I just brought to a party, didn't tell anyone, and just set it up. The whole party just came over. It's very what's the word? Disruptive. This is a painting by Alex Gray. This is my painting. So I'm not sure what the point was. Oh yeah, just still imagery. That's all we've had with still imagery and sort of animation of psychedelic experiences. But we've never really had a chance to do virtual reality psychedelic experiences. This I made to create the sense of presence. Like when if you try it later, you'll note that the cube, you feel like it's right there. People actually go out and touch it. So it tricks the visual cortex to believing it's there. And this is only the low resolution kit, so it will only get better the more iterations that come out. So yeah, this is what I created in a program called Unity. Kind of like a showcasing of my virtual world, my art gallery, I guess you'd call it. And it also has the lucid dreaming training component in it, but it's not visible in this, but it is on my demonstration. That's a Flower of Life I made in 2002, but a 3D version, sort of reimagined it as a 3D model. It was just sitting on my computer and put it in virtual reality. It's a completely different feeling to be, surrounded by your own artwork. That's Terence McKenna. He talked about virtual reality in the 90s and how it would be a new form of communication or a new form of language, how to communicate the unseeable. So he's a major inspiration of why I did this. This is me trying to recreate the DMT experience of what I experienced in 1998. Again, it doesn't seem like much here, but once you're in there, it's quite different. It's 90-degree field of vision. It's like having if you like cup your eyes like that, you'll see the edge of your hands, and that's what it's like in there. But it's 110 that way and 90 degrees that way, and it updates at 1,000 hertz every time you move your head. It just keeps updating. It's an LSD experience, kind of confronting meditation experience I had. That's just an oil painting I did a couple of years ago. So yeah, it's fun to actually take a virtual art gallery to an art gallery, and I don't know, I get off on that, I guess. Yeah, just a couple more artworks there. I'm sure what's next in this thing. I'll have a quick look at my notes. Yeah, I think I covered it all pretty quickly. But yeah, we'll finish off with what I want to do more of is to actually go inside artworks and go to their, like that's the still imagery of the experience, but to actually go into the 3D virtual experience of that, what that artwork represented is what I want to try to do more of. Try to accurately represent it better. But this is a first attempt, so it's going to get crazy very quickly. I think that's it. Let's see. Oh yeah, just walking around the artwork there. Yeah, cool. That's it. Thank you.
Before we have a break, does anyone have any questions?
Oh, that's a good point.
About
I mean, yeah, we were talking during it about replicating the psychedelic experience, and I guess maybe how hard it will be to actually convey exactly the experience. You can never explain the feeling, really. Although you can, with VR, you can sort of convey depth and scale really well. So you can create actual fear and apprehension about virtual spaces, which might be useful for conveying psychedelic experiences. Yeah. Okay.
well, we'll have like a 5-10 minute break, and then Troy and myself are going to do the next one. So yeah, we'll be back pretty well in like 5-10.
Thanks everyone.